Cold email. Even in 2023, it stands as one of the most effective and fastest way to gain clients for your business, especially when you know what you're doing. After doing over 6 figures in less than a year with my agency, it's been one of my biggest regrets that I didn't start doing cold emails sooner. Because honestly, it practically doubled my revenue. That's why today I'm gonna take you through the entire A to Z of cold email, but even more importantly, I'm gonna teach you how to step it up a notch using artificial intelligence. Now, before anyone asks, I'm not trying to make myself look smart with the glasses. They're blue light glasses, because we're gonna be here for a while. So grab your blue light glasses and your stimulants and let's talk about cold email. Now, part 1 is going to be lead generation. I'm going to show you how you can define your ideal client profile, how you can scrape leads using Apollo, and even more importantly, how you can get those leads for dummy cheap. I'll show you a technique that I have for getting over 10,000 verified leads for practically nothing. Part 2 is crafting the perfect email. The first part of that is going to be creating the perfect subject line. Second is creating a personalized first line, be it with a VA or using a tool called Quick Lines AI, and then crafting the body of your email using our tool, Pegasus UGC. Now, part 3 is going to be the technical stuff. I'm going to teach you how to buy domains from Google for cold email, how to set up redirects with those domains, how to add them to the cold email software, and more importantly, how to warm them up so that there's enough deliverability. All right, I'm taking the glasses off. I gotta look at you in the eye. Finally, part 4, I'm gonna show you guys how to import your leads into the software, how to set up your campaigns, and finally, how to launch them. So without holding you guys for too long, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. So what is cold email and why is it so important? Cold email is basically a technique where you reach out to people who you haven't met yet over email and offer your services. It's basically the same thing as hitting them up in the DMs, but with email. So if you're selling social media marketing services, for example, you might email a lead that you found on TikTok that isn't doing so good with their stuff. So you're like, hey, I do social media management. I can grow your page. Would you be interested in this? It's basically a way of reaching out to someone you don't know and building a relationship with them in hopes of turning them into a customer. But why is it so important? See, many people try to neglect cold email, saying that it's too complex or outdated or that it doesn't work, but all of these could not be further from the truth. And it's one of the best things that you can do for your business for practically 4 reasons. First and foremost, it's very highly targeted, allowing you to target very specific people, personalize your messages, and target individuals that actually need your services rather than taking a random shotgun approach. And of course, if they actually need your services, this increases your chances of getting a response. Second is the fact that it's scalable. You can easily send hundreds upon hundreds of cold emails a day and reach so many potential clients so quickly. Third, it's very cost affordable. You don't need to spend buku bucks on advertisements or outsourcing to other creators. In fact, with what I'm about to show you, you hardly have to spend anything at all. Fourth, and finally, cold email, if done properly, has a better ROI than basically any other outreach method. And you can track so much data that you need to make the adjustments on your campaigns that will actually make them perform. So now that you understand the importance of cold email, let's go ahead and dive into the computer and set this up for you. Now, the first thing you need to do with cold email is understand who you're reaching out to. I know it sounds tempting to just try and reach out to anyone and everyone, but that is probably the worst thing you're gonna do. First and foremost, you're gonna be reaching out to a lot of people that aren't actually interested in your services. They're gonna mark you as spam, they're not gonna reply, and you're gonna get a lot of angry emails back, which is not good for your domain's deliverability. Then you'll start landing in spam folders, and it's not something you want to do unless you're trying to burn money. Go right ahead. So if you want to define your ideal customer profile, then carefully listen, because these are the questions that you're going to need to answer to have at least a pretty decent idea of who you want to reach out to. First and foremost is locations. What countries, cities, states might your ideal client profile live in? For example, if you're a local brick and mortar store in the Cincinnati area and you do roofing, you're not going to reach out to people in California. That doesn't make sense. So obviously you'd be looking for people in Ohio near Cincinnati. Or if you're an agency, a marketing agency, and you're taking on high ticket clients, you're not going to be reaching out to countries that are lower income. You're going to be looking for first world countries like the United States, United Kingdom, Canada. It can be as broad or as specific as you want it to be. Next is job titles. Who in that company are you trying to reach out to? Are you trying to reach out to the CEO, owner, co-founder, CMO, CFO, I don't know, POO? Like, who are you reaching out to? Next is considering the size of the company you're trying to reach out to. Are you reaching out to like small mom and pop shops with employee sizes between 1 and 10? Or are you reaching out to big corporations with employee sizes in the hundreds? Or are you doing both? What kind of employee sizes? How big are the companies that you're reaching out to? Next is industry. What industry are they in? Are they in apparel and fashion? Are they in the automotive industry, etc., etc.? Finally are the keywords, considering keywords that might be used by your clients. For me, we ran a Web3 agency, like I said, and keywords were a very important part of finding the right clients for us. Obviously, that included keywords like Web3, blockchain, metaverse. So just pick keywords that relate to your niche or your service. Now, let's hop on the computer so I can show you how to properly find them within Apollo. All right, so you're gonna need to get signed up for Apollo, and you're gonna have to have a work email and set up the trial. But once you're in there, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. And you can see all of my recent searches as well. As you can see, I was looking for companies, again, with keywords, Web3. Over here, you're going to see your filters, but we're not gonna worry about that just yet. I've got it selected on people, which is probably what you're gonna wanna do as well. And you're gonna click this button right down here, the More Filters button. And it's gonna pull up a little screen for you guys to look at. Don't worry about any of this stuff. First and foremost, you don't need to filter by name, but we're gonna go straight to job titles. This is where you can put in things like CEO, manager, project manager, etc., etc. So, I'm just gonna leave this empty. Actually, we'll go ahead and throw in founder. Now, location, consider the location again. I'm gonna go very broad here. I'm gonna looking for people in the United States, or you can even go to entire continents, actually. It's really, honestly, pretty cool. So let's just say North America, Europe, also United Kingdom. So United Kingdom, boom. Now you can put this other stuff in there if you want, but I personally never actually use it. Now the number of employees, this is where it's important because you can select multiple. If you're, looking for anybody in any of these employee ranges, that's perfect. So we're just gonna go ahead and do like all of these ranges, industry and keywords. So you can search industries right here. So if it's like apparel and fashion, you can do that. Or you can also sort by the company keywords. So for example, I'm just gonna say Web3. You know what? We're just gonna say blockchain. That's gonna be more broad. So go ahead and throw keywords that actually make sense for you. Finally, the most important thing is you're gonna go ahead and click this email status down here, and you're gonna click verified. This is gonna be important for getting our leads for cheap, and I'll show you why in a second. But also, it makes sure that your emails are actually going to people who have emails. They're not just like not active emails. So you're gonna go ahead and click verified, and then it's gonna go ahead and load up. Now it's not loading up too many because these are blockchain companies, very small niche, but for you, it should be loading up ideally over 10,000 results. If not, then maybe consider where you're doing business. But basically, that's all of the filters that we're gonna apply. Now we're just gonna go ahead and hit apply. And it's going to come up with a giant list right here. Obviously, all of these are leads that I can reach out to. But we're not gonna do anything with this just yet because on Fiverr, Apollo basically doesn't allow you to export more than a certain number of leads each month, and that's on like their highest paying plan, which wouldn't be enough for you. At least in my case, it wasn't. You can look into their plans if you want. But I did find a loophole. On Fiverr, you can find gigs like this. So essentially, they will provide you with Apollo export credits. As you can see here with the starting package, there's 10,000 Apollo export credits. And I can vouch for this because I've personally done it. Obviously, there are lots of people that do this, but all you have to do when you're buying the package is give them this link. So you put in all of your filters like this, you have it populated, and then you go ahead and click copy to this link up here, and you're gonna send it to this person once you buy the gig, and they'll give you however many results there were. So for example, I was looking for AI and software companies. There were probably about 30,000 results. Obviously, I don't need that many. So I went ahead and did the starting package, and I just got a list of like 10,000 leads. So let me know if this works for you guys. This is just a little loophole I found, but super fast, super cheap, and the leads were all good. They're all delivering in the software. So I have to say, I think it worked pretty well. Now I'm gonna kind of fast forward. Once you've done this, you should have your leads list. Now here, I've kind of blocked out some things because these are actual leads and I don't want to leak any of that information, but you're gonna have your first name, your last name, title, company, email, blah, 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 blah. Most importantly, you're going to have their LinkedIn, the website, the company, their email. Make sure you have their email. That's absolutely crucial. There's no point in sending cold email if there's no email, but basically you're gonna have all of these populated. Now we have our list of ideal customers, and now it's time to craft the perfect pitch. First, let's talk about a compelling subject line. Now, the whole goal is to get them to open the email. So it's kind of clickbait, but it's not, but also kind of. Now, a very popular one that's constantly used is a very simple subject line. It's just quick question or quick question, first name. So basically, be like quick question, John, as the subject line. Now you guys can use that. I've personally used it quite a bit, and I've achieved consistent open rates of 60 to 70% and up, which if you're just a beginner, that's great. Obviously, the end goal is to get into the 80% range. That's really where we want to be operating, but 60 to 70% starting isn't too bad. But if you want to be cool and create your own, then you need to keep these principles in mind. First and foremost, it's got to be short. No point in creating a subject line if it just gets cut off. Next, you need to avoid spam words. Don't be throwing free in there or cruise. Next is try to ask open questions like, have you seen this? Question mark. It arouses the curiosity. Next is making sure that it's related to the niche and the service that you're offering. No point in saying free cruise voucher if you're going to be pitching them on social media marketing. That's a great way to receive a lot of angry emails. Finally, make it compelling, relatable, and valuable. The quick question headline, again though, like I stated, will get you a pretty consistent open rate between 60 and 75%. If you want to just be lazy and go with that one, that's perfectly fine. Now, the next big thing is personalization. It will get you so many more replies in an email, and it will make all the difference, including something like, hey John, congratulations on your promotion at company name. I'm sure it was well deserved. Goes a lot further than, hey John, you want to buy my service? It creates that personalization to the email. It shows that you're a human on the other side of the screen, which people you're reaching out to, big shocker, are humans too. So it helps. Now, there are a couple ways you can go about this. More than likely, you have a massive list of emails that you need to write personalized first lines for. So there are 3 options that you have. First, you can hire a VA to do research and write the personalized first lines for you, because first lines are very time consuming. This is not something you want to be stuck doing yourself. So you can hire a VA, you can outsource it. Second is you can actually use a software called QuickLines. Now, this isn't something that I use too often, but it works so well. And it's only $59 for lifetime access. Now, the only reason I don't use it is because it's 300 credits per month. But if you're just beginning, then this is something that might be perfect for you. So it'll pull from all of their information, all of their social links, and create a personalized first line that's actually relevant. So that way it shows that you did your research on their company. It gets you a far way. Or third, you can write a personalized first line that's kind of broad. This isn't what I'd recommend, but it's also something that I've done. So that's perfectly fine as well. For example, with our cold email sequences for Web3, granted, it doesn't perform as well, but we had a personalized first line such as, hey, first name, love what you're doing. I love connecting with innovators in Web3, super inspired by what you're doing at company name. It's decent, but personalized first line that actually applies to that person would go a lot further. So personally, I'd recommend, if you're a beginner, outsourcing it to something like QuickLines, or if you've got a really big list of leads, I would just outsource it to a VA. Now, alternatively, our tool Pegasus UGC also does this to some extent, so that might be worth looking into, and I'm about to take you guys into that. Now, I'm gonna show you guys how to craft the perfect cold email body using everything that we've gathered. So a cold email will consist of a few different components. First and foremost, a personalized first line. Second, your offer. Third, a case study. Fourth, a risk reversal / guarantee. And finally, fifth, a call to action. 5 components. Now, the goal here is to keep it as short as possible. We're not writing English essays or pitching. Now, let's go ahead and do it. So first and foremost, we're gonna go ahead and hop into Pegasus. Now, I'm gonna show you guys how you can import leads. There's 2 ways that you can go about doing it. So you can either export these leads and you can download them as a CSV, which obviously, when you click add new contact within Pegasus, you can go ahead and import them through CSV. Or if you're, a very small operation and you're just very specific about the people you want to reach out to, you can also add them individually. I don't recommend this. Import them using CSV, but we're going to go ahead and use a couple of the dummy contacts that I have here. One of them is George Smith from Gymshark. So we're going to go ahead and click on him. Now, there's a couple different ways you can generate emails within the software. And just a heads up, this is in the My Contacts tab, but you can go ahead and click this little box right here, and you can click this drop down and write email scripts, or you can just click on their name and then go to email scripts. And there's 2 different ways you can write it. You can write it to pitch services or paid ads. And it'll consist of 3 things: your initial pitch, your first follow-up, and your second follow-up. Now, before you write any emails with AI, you need to make sure that it's going to include your offer. This is like an AI lead that I threw in there. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to the personal brand tab, and you're gonna see a few different things. First and foremost, we're gonna be paying attention to the case studies tab. Now, as you can see here, let's just say I'm pitching content creation to them. So you've got your Instagram case study right here. Mine, I took my account from 3K to 50,000 followers in 30 days. And And how I did it was, this is where you're gonna insert your offer, my viral content framework. For my Web3, it was my 5-phase Web3 marketing framework. Obviously, you want some kind of framework, some kind of method to the madness. That's gonna be where your offer is. And then this is your case study. So I took my account from 3K to 50K followers in just 30 days. Now that you have that populated in there, you go back to my contacts, and this AI lead, we're just gonna go ahead and head over to email scripts, and we're gonna click Write with AI. Now, this is gonna take some editing. We're gonna definitely have to do some touching up, but it builds a magnificent framework for us to work off of. So let's just read the initial pitch. Hey George, saw that Roundtable is a Web3 agency. That's our Web3 agency. Our offer is to help you scale your AI SaaS with curated viral content. We recently had great success with a case study where we scaled an Instagram following from 3K to over 50,000 in less than a month using our viral curated content framework. Are you open to exploring a call next week? So let's break this down for a second. So first and foremost, you have your, hi George, saw that Roundtable is a Web3 agency. Now, that's not a great first line. It's something, but this is why you need to be writing your first lines in a tool like QuickLines or hiring a VA to do it. Then you've got your offer. This is the second part. So our offer is to help you scale your AI SaaS recently, but obviously with our, curated viral content. And then you have your case study, and then you have your call to action. So it's got 4 of those 5, all solid, but let's look at the follow-ups. Now, obviously you're gonna wanna add more case studies into this because it's just gonna repeat the same case study over and over, if not. But we also have our follow-up. I just recorded a quick 5-minute video explaining how I can do this. Can I share it with you? And then you have your second follow-up. Can I share some of our examples? Blah, blah, blah. Super short and super easy. Now, it's not perfect, no, but this gives us an amazing framework to work off of. So we're gonna go ahead and import that into the actual cold email software here soon. But first and foremost, we have to do something else. So now we have our list of leads. We have our cold emails somewhat written out. The next step is to get them all into the software and set up the technical stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys how to buy your very own cold email domains. Now, these domains have no other purpose but to be sending cold emails. And if you're just starting and you're kind of balling on a budget, I'd recommend having at least 5, but if you can afford it, I would recommend having 10 domains. Now, to get these domains, we're gonna go ahead and head over to domains.google.com. And once you're on this page, you're gonna see this little My Domains tab over here. It's not gonna look anything like mine. You're probably gonna have like maybe 1 or 2 domains, but these are all cold email domains. Now, a good rule of thumb is to have cold email domains that end in .com. These are just the most trustworthy domains that you can have. So if you can't find it, you just got to get creative. For example, roundtableweb3.com, rtable with a 3.com, rtable3, that one's XYZ. Probably not the best domain, but it helps. The roundtable.com, try rtable.com, etc. You get the point. You don't have to worry about the aesthetics of this domain. This is just for sending cold emails. No one's really gonna see it. But just in case, they get a cold email from you and they want to do a little bit of research, under all of these cold email domains, you can see that it forwards to my main domain, rtable.co. So when they type in go rtable.com, it's gonna forward them to rtable.co, which is our main landing page with our VSL, and it's designed to convert them. So that's what we want. Now, heading back to Google Domains, I'm gonna show you guys how you can buy your own. So go to get a new domain, whatever your offer is or your website. Let's just say your QuickLines. I'm just gonna say tryquicklines.com. They might already have domains set up, so it's not available. Let's try QuickLines AI. Whatever your domain is, it'll pop up like that. Again, you want a .com domain, and it's gonna show an exact match. Again, you wanna find 5 or 10. You wanna add them to your cart. So go ahead and add it to your cart. Once you have your domains in your cart, we're gonna head over there, and there's gonna be a couple different things that you need to set up. First and foremost, down here, you need a custom email. This is an absolute necessity because this is what's going to allow you to send your cold emails. It doesn't need to be business standard. Throw it on business starter. So $7.20 a month. You're going to click check for Google Workspace, and you have to do that for each individual email. Now it's going to come up with a little toggle down here, and you're going to throw in your first name. You're going to throw in your last name, and right here you're just going to throw in the username. So just put in like your first name or something, and now it's going to say Sean@quicklinesai.com. Super easy, super simple. You really don't have to do anything with it. So Sean@quicklinesai.com, and you're gonna do that for every single email. Then you're gonna get an email with all of the passwords that you can use to set up those emails, and it's just gonna be super easy. You're gonna have it all populated over here, and it's gonna be super simple. Now, once you have your domains, I'm gonna show you guys how to set up redirects. So for gortable.com, this is the one I'm gonna use. You're gonna click on manage, and then you're gonna go down to website over here. For me, it already says it's forwarding, but there's gonna be a button that says forward to, page or whatever. and then you're just gonna have it forward to your main page. Super easy, really simple. Honestly, you can add a forwarding address over here as well. It might take a second to populate, but again, it's super easy. Now, once you've got your domains, connecting them to Smart Lead is extremely easy. And I'm gonna be showing you guys how to warm them up as well. Now, you may be asking why you need to warm up your domains, and the simple answer is if you send too many emails too quickly on a new domain, Google registers that as spam, and it basically burns that domain, which is the exact opposite of what we wanna do. So warming up slowly and ramping up the volume is the key to longevity with these campaigns. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to add them. So once you're in Smart Lead, you're gonna go ahead and head over to your email accounts tab, and you're gonna go ahead and click add accounts. Now, you can drag and drop them using a CSV, but I'm gonna show you guys the other way to do it as well. So you're gonna click Gmail, and you're gonna use this O off. You're gonna go one-click setup, and essentially what you're going to do is you're going to head over to admin.google.com, or alternatively, you can just click this and it'll take you to your admin panel. Now you have to do this for each and every domain. Now, as you can see, I already have this configured, but basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna click Add App, you're gonna click the O off right here, and then you're gonna take this client ID from Smart Lead, and you're gonna copy it, and you're going to paste it in there, and you're gonna click search, and it's just basically gonna populate, with Melody or whatever software you're using. Now, I'm not using this domain for outreach on this one, but basically Smart Lead will come up and it'll populate with that. You're going to approve it, and then you're just gonna go ahead and connect the account by clicking this button. Now you have to approve, you have to do that process for each and every single email. Next, obviously, don't forget to also change your profile picture, just make it more personalized, throw in a logo and everything for each domain as well. But basically, once you've got all of your domains connected, you're gonna go ahead and click on them. Now it's gonna pull up this warm up tab. I'm not gonna do it because my domains are good. I don't need to warm them up, but you're gonna go ahead and click enable warm up, and you're gonna leave that for a few days to a week to let it build up domain authority, so that way you can send cold emails without being sent to spam. All right, we're near the end. We've got our domains, we've got our leads, and we've got our emails. So what do we do next? So within the software, you're going to click on add campaign. Now, first thing you're gonna see in here is upload CSV, and you're gonna title it campaign. I'll just say test campaign, and you're gonna choose a file from your system. Now, I'm just gonna find a random CSV. We'll just say, just some random dummy leads. You don't need to worry about any of these CSV settings. Basically, you're gonna populate all of these. So status, this is just for a separate lead list, but I'm gonna ignore that field details. But you have your first name, you're gonna have your email. So you're gonna go ahead and drag and drop your CSV file. Gonna go ahead and upload this. Now, you don't need to worry about any of these settings. You're gonna have your first name field, your last name field. The title isn't really important, so we're gonna ignore that one. Company is company name. Seniority doesn't matter. Department doesn't matter unless you want to incorporate that into your sequence. First phone doesn't matter. Actually, I will set that as phone number. Stage, also really not important. All of these things are not incredibly important. This is just stuff to help you obviously find these leads, but we're just gonna go ahead and ignore them all, except for the first phone, the email, the company name, and the first and last name. Now, you do want their LinkedIn URL, so there should be an option that says LinkedIn profile. Select that. Facebook URL, a lot of this stuff, if you wanna use it, you throw on the custom field and basically it'll import that for you. But I'm just gonna go ahead and click save and next. Basically, once you upload your leads, it's gonna show you a little summary. We've got 5 leads that we uploaded. And then this is where you're going to import your email sequences. So we're just gonna use the quick question tagline, and we're gonna go ahead and throw in our initial pitch from Pegasus. Now what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna go ahead and put in the hi first name tag. Now this is just the first name, and we're gonna throw a little comma right there. Basically, this will auto-populate with their first name. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw in our personalized first lines. If we have them, we're gonna add them. But to save us some time, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a different campaign that I've already got completed. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So this is a current campaign that I'm running, and it's not perfect. Just started it like 2 days ago, but it should give you a pretty decent idea. So it says, hey, first name. I love connecting with builders who recognize the power of AI and are using it to create some awesome tools. Super inspired by what you're doing at company name. Now this will auto-populate with the company name. This is one of those examples of one of those really broad first lines, and we're gonna go ahead and test it. Then you've got your case study, and then you've got your call to action. Now here, ideally, you'd also insert some kind of guarantee. Our guarantee for the Web3 campaign was, we guarantee we generate you at least 6 figures in 90 days or you don't pay. That's a great guarantee. You can also A/B test all of these, so you can test it out with different subject lines, and it'll basically split in between your emails. Then we've got a wait for 2 days, and then we have the follow-up. Make sure you don't populate the subject line here. It's crucial that you don't, because it'll send a whole new email basically, whereas this one will continue on the thread. So you're gonna wanna have 3 separate follow-ups as well, which is what I have. So initial email B will also have follow-up B, if that makes sense. It's a super short follow-up. Now, the reason I reached out the other day is because you've got massive potential, blah, blah, blah. And you can say, this is how we've generated over 10 million views and counting. So I'm using a different metric. You don't wanna keep using the same case study. I'm just changing it up a little bit. And then I've got my second call to action. Mind if I share a quick video explaining further? Finally, we have our final follow-up. You guys can add as many as you want. And again, this software also has LinkedIn follow-ups, which is really sick. But this is gonna be the shortest one of them all. It's just, I recorded a video outlining this framework that we use to achieve X result. Mind if I shoot it over? Or I recorded a video going over our blank framework. This is the exact same framework we use to achieve X results for this client. Mind if I share it with you? Now, this is a Loom video, so I'm gonna be sending them a Loom video going over our entire framework, but you don't have to use this. Then you're gonna click save and next. Make sure there are no spelling errors and stuff like that. But finally, you're gonna go ahead and go to the setup. You can schedule the campaign this way. Also, make sure the domains, the warm-ups are turned off once you're ready to start sending emails. You're gonna have 5 sender accounts, and it's going to be your cold email domains that you set up, and you can schedule the campaign to start basically whenever. Now, I have mine running from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. just because that's work hours. That's when most people are in, but you can really set yours to whatever. And then you'll have your final review, and you can click launch on the campaigns. And there you have it. Now that you've got everything running, this is going to be the end of the course. Just in case you haven't actually set any of this up yet though, here are some actionable summarized steps that you can take to start getting there. First and foremost is defining your ideal customer profile. Second is scraping leads from Apollo. Third is using the Fiverr tactic to get a lot of leads for a little bit of money. Fourth is writing your subject lines. Fifth, writing your personalized first lines. Sixth, building the body of your emails with Pegasus. Seventh is buying your domains. Eighth is setting up the domain forwarding, so forwarding to your main homepage. Ninth is adding your domains to Smart Lead and starting the warm-up process. 10th is importing your leads. 11th, setting up your sequences. And finally, launching your campaigns. That'll be it for today, guys. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know down in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. If you're interested in using Pegasus UGC, I've got a discount code for you guys down below. Again, it is our software, and I'd love to see what you guys think of it. If you found this valuable, be sure to join my AI newsletter. That's also down in the description below. You'll get a free AI business toolkit, as well as my $100 a day AI side hustle. It's all completely free, no catches. So definitely hop on there if you're trying to stay updated with all things AI. Finally, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more content from me, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another upload. Without further ado, I will see you guys next time.